Hello, dividend executives. Welcome back. It is Monday, so you already know we are trading options, reviewing our trades, from the last week or two, and checking out what's expired worth is, where we're sitting at the account, what trades we have on the table, and boy, it has been a rocky one. As we go towards the end of the year, the goal was, of course, at the start of the year, 18,000 some change for the balance. We beat that. Then we set it up to 22,000. As of right now, we're above that. Then we moved the goal potentially to 25,000, which is wild to think about. And we're close to that, but a lot can change in the week. These assets that I own in this account are fluctuating like crazy. And so we're trying to squeeze some premium out. We're trying to will out of a couple of stocks like we have been doing lately. We willed in and out of Hood. We willed in and out of Rivian. We've been willing in and out of a few stocks here, squeezing a couple dollars here and there. And slowly but surely, we're trying to work this account up and to the right. So let's jump into the trades that have happened over the last, week or two. And let's jump into how the account's looking and what we have on the docket for this week. So we're currently sitting at 24,790, up about 2.3% for the day. For the week, up about 8.5%. For the month, 2%. 3 months, 20%. Year to date, up 78.7%. 1 year up 84%, and then all time over the last 2.5 years since we started this account and this series on YouTube, which we've shown every single video. Gosh, there's got to be over 100 videos on this particular account. We're up 187% or 16,163. So full transparency as always. Let's jump into what's happened over the last, let's just say week or two. So we played a couple of different assets, right? We've got assigned some stuff that's been good, assigned some stuff that's been bad, and we've been rock and rolling. So we got assigned some Hood at the 110 back on November 21st, some ETH at the 70. The Hood we've already wheeled out of. The ETH we still own. We've deposited like we do each and every single week, that $35. Sold some Hood calls for the 165, some ETH calls for 40, TQQQ puts for 26. Got a little ETH dividend there. TQQQ ended up expiring worthless. ETH call expired worthless, and then Hood got called away. So we booked, the 665 on that weekly trade. Deposited some more money last week on December 1st. We ended up selling a couple rounds of EOSE puts. We sold the 12.5s. What did we do? 10 contracts there. So we got paid $120 for that. Tried to get some calls in on ETH. Wasn't able to get them in, but we did get some in at the 68.5 for $35. We sold some more EOSE puts at the 11.5 last week for $24. So that put us up to 13 contracts last week. MSTU had a reverse split for 1 to 10. So that means now we can't sell options on it. We only own 50 shares. And then we bought back EOSE. Well, 3 of the contracts, we let the other 10 expire worthless. We bought back the ETH calls, so I was trying to get some calls out there at the 70. We weren't able to get those filled, but that's all good. We were able to get them filled this morning. ETH at the 12.5 expired worthless. I was 10 contracts there. Sold some TSLL puts today for $55 at the 17 strike. Sold some ETH calls at the 70. I hope they get called away. That'd be fantastic. And then we got paid $135 for that. So a nice bump on the open there. And then we sold some SoFi puts, which I'd love to get assigned here at the 25 for $36. So those are all the plays we have on the table right now. Buying power at 748. Contributions for the year at 1,740. And then these are the plays we have on the table, right? So the 3 SoFis, hope we get assigned there. We have the $70 ETH calls, which are up 22 on those right now. I hope they go in the money and they end up getting called away. Our cost basis is just above $68 on those because we did end up buying some odd lots. And then we have TSLL, which is basically sitting break even, maybe down $1 per contract there at the 17 put. Then we have a couple of shares, right? We have the Hood shares. They're sitting at 136 now. That stock is absolutely ripped. So we only own the odd lot left here. Cost basis 109.72, so we're up 24% on those. ETH, our cost basis is, what did I say, 68? Yeah, 68.02. So we're down $554 there, but also keep in mind we've made over $700 selling calls and puts there. So we're still looking good on the total return trading the stock as of right now, but the stock moves like crazy. You can see right now it went up, 7.5% today. And this thing's volatile, right? Last week at one point it was trading at, I want to say 69, 68. All right, so 66 and some change. So right there close to our cost basis, and it just keeps zigzagging around. So depending on what Bitcoin does, We'll see what ETH does, but hopefully we will out of it this week. If not, I'll take the 135 premium for the week. And then we have those MSTU shares. Just kind of sitting on these for now. Can't trade calls on them. Can't trade puts. My hope is that we could get some type of bounce in MSTR, and then we will be able to get rid of these shares. I'm really honestly at the point right now where I'm thinking about maybe just selling these, taking the L, and moving on. We do have a little bit of capital tied up into it. Not too much. Only $600 worth of capital, so we can't do a whole lot with it, and that's why we're just kind of sitting with it. I don't want to average into it because we already have ETH and MSTU in the portfolio, so I don't want any more crypto exposure. And so for now, we're just sitting on those shares, and hopefully we'll get some type of pop that we can sell them on. So that's where we're sitting in the account as of right now. Really not too bad. I'll take 187% gain. And for year to date, I'll take a 78% all day, every day. Crazy to think we started this 10K to 50K challenge and we're already at $24,000, almost $25,000. Way ahead of schedule. And I want to talk about that. But first, let's jump into the spreadsheet so we can just see how all the data actually looks. So we're just going to jump into the dividend executive. And we'll jump over here in a small IRA, right? So here's every single trade. You guys know, full transparency, every single trade the entire year. We've documented it all here. And hopefully that's helpful when you're making your trades. Hopefully it's helpful to see the trades that I'm making, whether you make more aggressive, less aggressive, different stocks, the same stocks. Hopefully at least lets you see how I've been able to create, a 77% return this year and what kind of stocks that I have traded in order to get there, right? So that being said, let's look at them, right? So we really just trade a small basket of stocks. For me, that's what I like to do. I'm familiar with the charts. I'm familiar with the companies or the tickers. And I like to just trade the same stocks week in, week out and kind of bounce around a little bit. So we're over $10,000 worth of options income booked so far this year outside of the trades we have open right now. We'll profit about 1,776 just getting in and out. But you can see mostly we've been trading puts. A couple of calls there as well. But you can see a majority of our money's come, almost $7,000 has come from the actual selling cash care puts. So here's where we're sitting for the year. We broke the $10,000 mark this week, actually today, which is absolutely wild to think that we started this balance on this account this year in January at $11,740, and then we're now sitting at $24,000, almost $25,000. This is a testament to just, it's a good strategy. And, maybe it'd be better to put it in some certain stocks and single stock pick, but that's a hard game to play. And so I just try to wheel and deal, get a couple percent here and there, and slowly but surely move the account up and to the right. And so far it has been working for me. Hopefully the trend continues, but I'll take it. Averaging about $881 a month in options premium. And you can see the balance on average this year has been about $17,245. So 50 weeks into the year, averaging about $200 a week in this particular portfolio. So if you take that into mind with whatever size portfolio you're trading as of right now, it'll kind of give you a basis of whether you're trading above or below that. And that probably would just give you a nice risk metric, right? So average cap traded 17,245, and my weekly return on average is 1.17. So there's where we're sitting as of right now when we compare it to the SPY. One thing I do want to look at, you can obviously see the graph. 2024 is white, 2025 is purple. We've had some really good months. Obviously, some of the months last year were a little bit better than some of the months this year. Actually, are there any months that... Yeah, we had 1 month in May that beat us from last year of 573 versus the 554. But for the most part, we've improved every single month this year. We still have some work to do to get it done in December, but that's what I like to see. Slowly but surely moving the account up and to the right. The premiums are getting bigger as the account continues to grow, and hopefully we continue to see that going into next year as this mini account is slowly it's becoming a non-mini account, right? When we started this challenge, we were at $10,913. Now we're sitting at about $25,000, and we're just slowly but surely rinsing and repeating. So if you follow the journey or you follow the trades, hopefully we've made you a lot of money, and that's worked out well for you, right? So you can see here starting balance on December 1st of 2024 when we started the 10K to 50K challenge. We were at 10,913. We're only supposed to be at 17,518 right now on a 3% base case goal. But obviously the rest is history. We're way above that. So sitting at, 24.7, 24.8. So not too bad. Goal for this month is 525. Of course, we'll deposit the same 140 every single week. every single month, and that's through the $35 a week. So we'll slowly but surely do that. Here's how we're sitting for December. 397 so far. You saw the money that came in today and the money that came in on EOSE last week. So 171 last week, 226 this week, 397 so far in December. We still have 2 more Fridays left to go. So potentially we can make some nice money there, and maybe on the money on Monday, the 29th, we might be able to rip some calls off there as well. It really just depends on where the account's sitting and what kind of rally or sell-off we get going into the end of the year. But I like where we're sitting, right? September over $1,000, October over $1,000, November over $1,000, and now December we're gearing up to potentially have another $1,000 month, which is absolutely crazy to think. So here's all the data. We already hit 10,000. We already hit all these goals. So that's just where we're sitting. And here's kind of the zoomed out metric of where we're sitting for the year. So that's my entire year in the mini account. Hopefully the transparency, hopefully walking through the trades each and every single week has helped a couple of people when it comes to trading. I know I don't get on here enough and talk about all the strategies. It's hard to do it on YouTube, especially with all the other things going on, but hopefully it at least helps to see a little bit here and a little bit there. If you want more in-depth, you guys know I have my own Discord, 15% off if you want to use the code, link in the description below. Would love to have you there, but I go into really, really deep depth on the mini account and on my larger account, right? I'm trading over $1 million. And so I talk about both of those every single week, my weekly plans, what earnings are coming up. And so if you want more in-depth, that's a good place for you. If not, of course, YouTube and X, I'll always be sharing it for free. So appreciate you as always. Happy investing, and we'll catch you next time.